So there are many reasons why I think this is not the right path to go down. And what really worries me now is Ukraine too committed to this path to rethink what would be wiser? Have they already opened the gates to the Russians insisting on carrying out their own trials? And the Russians have already shown that they are not interested in following the law. And this could be extremely detrimental to Ukrainian soldiers in the hands of Russia. So what does a country willing to do that level of crime, how do they react to people in their detention who they think are legitimate objects of their attacks, of their trials and so forth, to try to boost the morale of their own soldiers, which is very low right now. So they start having show trials. That's what countries in Russia's position start doing. They start parading, and their whole campaign of disinformation gets put out in a courtroom setting that seems to give to the average Russian soldier or person that much more sense that what Russia's doing is righteous. They're going after those people that they've accused of all kinds of false things. So maybe it would have happened without the Ukrainians beginning trials, but the timing suggests that the Ukrainians should have held back and perhaps still should, so that the Russians can't say, we're just doing to their soldiers what they did to ours, and giving a whole new set of a stage and a setting for more false information. The other issue is that bigger one. How is this going to play out in terms of helping Ukraine win the war? Will this be bargaining chips that could be used for prisoner swaps that would help? It would continue to show the Ukrainians as the good guys in this conflict, showing some extra mercy, showing their willingness to negotiate, to not take out on the average Russian soldier what Russian leaders have done. And I'm afraid that is being lost, that whole set of advantages, by keeping not only the legal technicalities, but the moral high ground that goes with a really generous approach to the Russian average fighting person. I understand the Ukrainians are hoping these kinds of trials will deter more atrocities, but frankly, that's the one thing I believe we have enough facts to know they will not. They will be seen by Russians as Ukrainians taking revenge on soldiers who are in their control, and they will not see it as a fair process during a conflict when emotions are so high and dangers are so real. So I think my advice would have been, and it still can be, to hold off on any more of these trials, keep people in detention. They should have access to the International Committee of the Red Cross, making sure conditions are per the Geneva Conventions, but trials do not have to occur now. What Ukraine has done in beginning to hold trials of Russians accused of very serious war crimes follows international law. Ukraine is perfectly justified in carrying out trials during armed conflict of violations of international law, the well-known Geneva Conventions. On the other hand, Ukraine has got to keep the moral high ground. It's got to keep the world with it. That means it doesn't take every advantage that the law gives it. Sometimes it presents grace. It goes the extra step to show the average Russian and Russian soldier that the Ukrainians really are the good guys in this fight, and they're not going to press their privileges home. And they're going to send a different message than the one Russia itself is carrying out every day in attacking unlawfully, and now perhaps beginning their own set of what I believe will be show trials.